A Love Beyond the Waves. The beach was calm that evening. The sun, now just a sliver of red-orange on the horizon, cast a soft, golden glow over everything. The ocean waves rolled in, gentle and steady, their rhythmic sound the only companion to the distant whispers of the wind. This was the perfect evening, one that seemed to exist just for them. Emma stood under the outdoor shower, the water cool against her sun-warmed skin. Her hair, still damp from the ocean, clung to her shoulders, and droplets of water beaded on her skin, glistening in the fading light. The salty air mingled with the scent of her shampoo, the ocean, and something more. Something that belonged to this place, to this moment. She closed her eyes for a moment, letting the water wash over her, feeling the gentle rush of the cold liquid as it ran down her body, cleansing her from the day. She had always loved this place, this beach where the sea met the land and where time seemed to slow down, just for them. James, her boyfriend, had always known how to make her feel special, how to make even the most ordinary moments feel extraordinary. He had always had a way with words, with touches, with glances. His love for her was as deep as the ocean itself, and sometimes Emma wondered if there was anything more to discover about him. But that night, she sensed there was more. Something he hadn't yet shown her. From behind, she heard his voice, low and smooth, drifting on the evening breeze. "You're stunning, you know that?" Emma turned her head, catching the gleam in his eyes as he stepped closer to her, the sand soft beneath his feet. He was barefoot, dressed in only his swim trunks, and there was something about the way he moved that always made her heart race. As he came closer, she felt a flutter in her chest, the kind she used to feel when they first met, that feeling of uncertainty and excitement, of new love. "James," Emma whispered, a teasing smile playing on her lips. She knew exactly what he was doing, the way he was looking at her, like she was the only thing that mattered in that moment. But it wasn't just the way he looked at her. It was the way he made her feel, like she was something precious, something he wanted to protect and cherish forever. His fingers brushed against her bare arm, sending a wave of heat through her. She shivered, not from the cold, but from the electricity that seemed to crackle between them. "You're absolutely breathtaking," James continued, his voice now barely above a whisper, but his words were clear. "I love watching you like this, free and beautiful." Emma couldn't stop the blush that crept across her cheeks. She looked down at the water trickling over her skin, feeling a little shy despite the intimacy they had shared countless times. But there was something different tonight, something in the air, in the way the evening seemed to hold its breath, waiting for something to happen. "You always know just what to say," Emma teased, her voice soft but playful. She took a step back, pretending to act coy, but inside, she was melting. She knew what he wanted, knew what he always wanted, her, completely and utterly. James smiled, that slow, lazy smile of his that always made her heart race. "I know more than just what to say, Emma. I know exactly what you need." She met his gaze, and for a moment, the world seemed to disappear. There was just the two of them, standing on the edge of the beach, the waves crashing behind them, the soft moonlight now casting shadows on their faces. Without saying another word, James reached out, his fingers gently curling around her wrist, pulling her toward him. She didn't resist. She never did when he looked at her like that, like she was the center of his universe. The water still clung to her skin, but now it wasn't just the coolness that made her shiver. It was the heat of his presence, the intensity of his gaze, and the promise of what was to come. He cupped her face in his hands, his thumbs brushing across her cheekbones as his lips found hers in a kiss that was slow and tender at first, but quickly grew more passionate. Emma felt herself leaning into him, her hands reaching for the strong, warm expanse of his chest. The sensation of his skin against hers, the salt in the air, the rhythm of the waves crashing in the distance, everything faded away, and all that was left was the two of them. James pulled back just slightly, his breath warm against her lips. "You're everything to me, Emma," he murmured, his voice thick with emotion. "I don't ever want to let you go." A thrill ran through her at his words, but it was more than just the sweet sentiment. There was something in his tone, a hint of something deeper, something unspoken, that made her pulse quicken. "What's wrong, James?" Emma asked softly, her voice laced with curiosity and concern. She could see it in his eyes, something hidden beneath the surface, something he wasn't saying. For a moment he hesitated, then shook his head. "Nothing's wrong, He took a step back, his gaze intense, but there was an unreadable expression on his face. "I just want you to know how much you mean to me, how much I've come to need you." Emma frowned slightly, her heart skipping a beat. "James, what's going on?" Before he could answer, the wind picked up, sending a shiver through the air. The waves seemed to grow louder, more forceful, and in the midst of the growing storm, Emma felt a flicker of something, an unease, a sense of urgency. "Let's get inside," she suggested, her voice tinged with concern. "It feels like a storm is coming." But James shook his head, his gaze fixed on her, his expression unreadable. "No, Emma, stay with me. I need you here right now. I can't let you go." She swallowed hard, unsure of what was happening. But there was something in the way he was looking at her, something that told her this wasn't just a romantic moment. This was more. As the first drops of rain began to fall, the two of them stood there, facing the storm together, bound by something deeper than the ocean, deeper than the night itself. Something that Emma couldn't quite understand, but knew she would never want to escape.